Well, turning next to a story that should really concern you, an ongoing strike by importers and transporters of tomatoes has caused a shortage of the vegetable at some markets in the Ashanti region. The importers embarked on the industrial action, protesting violent highway robbery attacks on the Kumasi-Bolgatanga, Burkina Faso route. Now, access to tomatoes for the retail market is becoming a tedious task for traders since all vehicles have been grounded. Here's Nanaya Ojima with this report from the Swami market.
In recent times, importers and transporters of tomatoes have come under highway attacks. Some have been killed and others maimed while traveling to neighboring Burkina Faso to import tomatoes. In the past 1 month alone, 2 people have died and 8 others injured in robbery attacks on the highway. To draw attention to their security concerns, the Tomato Importers and Transporters Association embarked on an industrial action last Friday. Emmanuel Oseitufo is leader of the group.
We are going to park our vehicles. There won't be any tomato coming from Burkina Faso to this country. It's only the military escort can save our lives. If not, we are not going.
Before the recent action, retailers were recording challenges in accessing tomatoes due to reduced importation for fear of armed robbery attacks. Tomato retailers have had to adjust their prices to make up for the price hikes.
We had to track down a vehicle from Burkina at midnight before we were able to secure some tomatoes to retail.
No more be toy. Running Lanka 5 city. Say 10 city. We share yento. On the board. Yet it was yes, not yes. So the bachelor be as an apple because Virgin is sick and yes, rabbi. Because I can do
If they go on strike, it will affect our business, but they have to do so because their lives are at risk.
We used to sell a pile at 5 cities. Now it's going for 10 cities, and our customers are not buying because it's expensive. They are getting rotten.
60 and 50.
If they go on strike, we will go hungry, but they can't risk their lives. Their wives and children will not allow them to travel on the route and die.
From Kumasi for JoyNews, Nanaya Ojima reporting.
Well, joining me to discuss this is the General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union, Edward Carway. Thanks for your time tonight. And I can't believe we are going to have a conversation about the fact that importers of tomatoes have gone on a strike, and we anticipate a shortage here in Ghana where we can grow tomatoes. How does it come to you?
Well, let me say good evening to you and your team there. And it is very, very disturbing that we have to go through this experience when in actual fact it's not an issue for us to be going through. When it comes to tomato production, Ghana is better placed to produce tomatoes than Burkina Faso. The ecological zone, the climate, and the resources that we have at our disposal makes Ghana a better place to produce the tomatoes that we need to feed ourselves and possibly even export it to Burkina Faso and other countries. So the news has come as very, very disturbing and unacceptable.
I've been speaking to people. I've been trying to find out what it is about the tomatoes from Burkina Faso that, traders go there for, that we don't have here in Ghana. What do you hear on your side? Because I hear it's, I don't know whether it's more nutritious or it's more healthy. I don't know. Maybe you can tell us.
Well, when it comes to tomatoes, just like any other crop or fruits, there are different varieties. We have some tomatoes that they have a lot of water. Some also have a lot of puree, in it. Some too have different shapes, and different designs, and this would meet different taste choices and so on. But the tomatoes that we are saying it comes from Burkina Faso. That tomatoes was also produced here in Navrongo, in the Upper East, and so on for many years. It's said that it can withstand a long period before getting rotten. So that is the type of it. And because we have almost virtually stopped producing tomatoes, particularly in the northern part of the country.
But why?
Particularly around. That has been occasioned by many years of failure to purchase the tomatoes from our producers. Many farmers have actually virtually become bankrupt, and they run out of tomato production. This year, for instance, there are many reasons why people refuse to go into tomato production. One has to do with the fact that there's no market for tomato when they produce it. The fear of not having the market not being predictable is one. The other thing is that if you take the northern part of the country, particularly Upper East, where you have the tunnel irrigation project, and then you also have the Via dam. Those dams are two major dams that farmers farm around those areas. Unfortunately, those dams are under reconstruction. The canals are broken down and they are being reconstructed. What that means is that those projects could not supply farmers with water because the canals that are the waterways that will be led to the farms are broken. And the unfortunate thing is that for about 5 to 4 years now, work has been going on in rehabilitating the canals, and it has never gotten finished. So these are the reasons why we are no more producing tomatoes.
Well, I would think that as a country would work for us, I mean, in our interest. And so if we can't produce it, why do we allow people to import it? How do we regulate it? I mean, these are questions that are coming to mind. Where do we go from here? What do we do?
You know, it's all about planning. As I said, all of us have had some little geographical knowledge, and we know where Burkina Faso is. The water situation in Burkina Faso, rain pattern situation in Burkina Faso is far worse than it is in Ghana. The vegetational, the soil nutrients and all that is far worse than in Ghana. Yet Burkina Faso is able to do that, and we cannot do that. It's also, tomato is one of the crops that are listed under the planting for food and jobs. So the question again that has to be asked is, what are we doing with the planting for food and jobs to the extent that we are not able to produce tomatoes and we have to depend on importation? Now, again, it tells us that when you depend on importation, these are the challenges you will find to your country. And again, my worry is that Ghana is the host to the African Continental Free Trade, which is hoping to harmonize trade relations within Africa, take out all trade barriers, and allow free movement of goods within the continent. Now, if we are not able to produce tomatoes, what it means is that all countries that can produce tomatoes will now produce tomatoes and dump it on our economy. The question we will ask is that, what are we doing to also access the rest of the African market? So it's not enough to host the headquarters of the African Continental Free Trade area, but what is most important is to prepare ourselves as a country to be able to access the rest of the African market, which we tout as being big in billions of dollars and so on. So it is just a question of making sure that we put in place proper structures to control production, to regulate production, and that will involve also making sure that there's market, and when people produce, they don't run at a loss to make sure that they run away from the production of tomatoes.
But certainly, if we are losing out, this is a critical matter that our government should look at. I wish we could play you a report from the Northeast region where there are vegetable farmers who are actually right now asking for support so they can increase yield. And so there is potential for us to develop crop production here in Ghana, but it appears the farmers are not getting the necessary support. A final one, maybe just in a minute. How is GAWU taking this up in terms of engagement with the government?
You know, we have been there the last 3 weeks. I was in the northern part of the country, the northeastern region, and all those areas to see things for ourselves. You know, again, the thing has to do with, we have virtually left these people to fend for themselves. Yes, if it is to produce for themselves, there's no problem. But when they have to produce for themselves and the rest of the country and possibly be able to export, then of course we cannot leave this to them. So the question again we'll ask is, what are the authorities doing? What is the Minister of Agriculture doing under the Planting for Food and Jobs? How are they supporting them with water? How are they supporting them with credit and then market and other inputs? You can see that they are fending for themselves. So again, it requires that we hold those authorities to indeed come now and account to us how they are seeking to restructure agriculture under the Planting for Food and Jobs and for our own good and for the good of export.
All right. Thank you so much, Edward Carraway, the General Secretary of GAWU. I appreciate your time with us tonight. So as we talk about a shortage of tomatoes because of the strike by these importers and transporters, are we feeling the trickle here in the capital, Accra, yet as a result of the strike? You saw the situation there in Kumasi and the fears. My colleague Nicholas Brown joins me from one of the main markets here in the Greater Accra region, that is the Medina market. He has been interacting with some tomato traders over there. And so, Nicholas, are they aware of this strike? How are they reacting to it?
Great, Darrow, as has already been established, the strike by the importers of the prices of tomatoes has been directly affected by the strike of the importers of tomatoes. So we are here at the Medina market to get the reaction of these importers and also traders of tomatoes. I have here with me Hajia, who directly imports from Burkina Faso. Hajia, you are welcome to Joy News. How has this particular strike now importers of tomatoes or Marco no sena affect mo?
As I say no and I'm say oye kwa no makwaji esika nti ama ya jisika no kura na yetimi gilo na akwa ka ibeko do no maje sika na free ensem enti na ama ye say ye ni abre ye hia ban kura se ngoma boa ye fi se na santos ho ba ye den wo Ghana ha bisa sa kwa na kwadu border so wa ni ya jisika na konfa jisika wo ensem wa saba Ghana enti se na aye den pa ma ye ai ka hia government kura se ngoma boa ye no me nipa na ye ne nkọ ana wamwa ye say ye betimi akọ ni akọfantos ndi aba Ghana ha nti ama se na ama Ghana ntos na wa den
nti no Sisia no well, she's basically saying that they are calling on government to help them with the situation of robberies on the road when they go into import tomatoes. So basically talking about tightening security, calling on government to tighten security because this is really affecting them. Now, Hajia, catch me, tomatoes, Sena strike affect prices ama prices akosro and answer sena wono saneti
be say no price no ekosro fi say nyakwa na ekọ na say boni bia nkan a bibia price na wo fam say ntimi me enyakwa ankwa na ekwaje usika nti ema yesuro say ebekọ sai Burkina Faso no ti amantos no ho ayeden wo Ghana ha nti wo mo kakra na be di Ghana ha na ne bo ayeden.
So she's basically saying that due to the threat or the attacks, the alleged attacks by robbers on the road, the prices of tomatoes have shot up, and that is really affecting their business. Now, let me come here and talk to another trader who also deals in tomatoes, who also deals in tomatoes. Mommy, ono menkasa, also sa situation no sa na etie.
Yes, mama frana ni driver for no makokunwo. Omo ba on to kunwo pepe, omo Jessica no masa ba on to, ntema yesoro. Driver so nko, Usman ba so nko, tema so antos ni ehu ye din wa ha. Ehu ye
All right, Nicholas Brown there reporting for us at the Medina market. So the traders essentially re-echoing what we've been talking about. And so if you're planning to go to the market this weekend, you have to rework your budget because the price of tomatoes definitely are going up. That's it for Business Live tonight. Thanks for watching. My name is Darryl Kwao. We're back same time tomorrow. Thanks for watching.